Hey, hi, Glenn here. This is a DIY project for you from the workshop at the Gardens. Hey, what we're going to be doing today is making this beautiful plant stand. Actually, we're going to make a pair of plant stands, and I happen to be using reclaimed lumber for this. You can use any type of lumber. I'm going to put a list down below to make this exact size in the description, a list in the description on what you need for quantity of woods. We're also going to make this a hidden fastener so you don't see any of the screws on the outside. Very simple, very clean. Let's get to it. All right, I haven't secured the top down yet, so we are going to open it up, take a quick look. Very simple, 2x6s all the way around. This is 36 inches high, 3 across, 2 deep, which means we're about just under 18 inches and just around 15 inches here. And we're using actually some reclaimed 2x4 for the material to hold the cap together. Something quick about reclaimed wood. I took a barn down, not necessarily a barn, it was a pole barn, a garage out in the middle of a farm field, so they don't all have to be beautiful historic barns. I took the rafters, and most of the time people want to try to save the rafters. Not a big deal. I took the chainsaw, cut it all up, because all that I'm trying to do is save some of the wood that's in between. So this is all just going to get cut out, and there's some beautiful sections of wood in here. It was sitting out back for the last couple of years, exposed. That's how you get a weathered look. And the nice thing about some of these old barns and pole barns when you take them down, and especially rafters, they use Doug fir, and just look at that grain pattern. This wood is so strong, so beautiful, and just a tight grain. It's going to be gorgeous when we get these together and put them in place. All right, I'm going to take some time here to get my pieces all ready, cleaned up, cut there, and then we'll come back and talk about the rest of the materials and the rest of the things you need to do to this build. All right, got everything cut, got it all cleaned up. You might have noticed that a few of the nails I just left in, they're getting pounded into the back. This particular build, the one that we're doing here, the boards are 36 inches high. So we have 10 of those. That's how many 36-inch boards. For the side that you have 3, it's a 13-inch board that will lay in there. And it's 7.5 for the side. So we'll put these 4 panels together, and then we'll screw those together. The top is 17 3/4 of an inch long. So materials, that's kind of what you need. So 2x4, 2x6, reclaimed wood works awesome. If you don't like the look and you want something new, you can buy brand new wood. You can do a shokiban on it, you can do whatever. I love working with the reclaimed wood. You just gotta watch out for the nails. The tool that you will need is an impact driver, screwdriver of something to set screws, which means you will need screws. I'll be using 2 different screws. I'm using a 2.5-inch construction screws, happen to be GRK, multi-purpose, which are nice. Thing with a 2.5-inch screw, when you use them on the 2x material, they won't pop all the way through. 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 2.5 doesn't go through. And then we're using also a GRK. This is a 3 1/8. It's a trim screw, so a small little head. This is what we'll do to secure the top, that lid on there, driving that in. Other tools that you'll need for the build, which might be obvious, the saw. You can use any saw. If the worm drive that I had, I was using that to rough out the wood just to get it ready. Some type of chop saw. Yes, I have 2 chop saws. That one is the one that can hit nails. You're using a stop, so once you measure something, all your boards are exactly the same. a tape measure, some type of square to help square things up. I'm doing it in a rustic build, so this is not fine carpentry cabinetry where it has to be to the millimeter. No, this is embodying that rustic nature, that beautiful, yeah, my style. Kind of saw all the panels, almost all the panels get us open. Here they are. Now, I don't have a ton of clamps around here. There's shops out there that have 6,000 and a whole wall of clamps. That would be nice. The reality of a simple DIY that I'm trying to do for you this time is that you don't need all of that stuff. It is nice. So these panels work out really, really well. As far as just balancing, they kind of just line up with each other. And as long as those are straight, you're going to get a square enough box to put together. I am going to add one other little screw to the list. This is actually a 3-inch, and because what we're going to do is just drive a screw in here. 2.5s would work, but if you have 3s in the shop, by all means use a 3. These are 3 and an 8. And I'm just going to toenail drive that one in at an angle. And just pull it in tight, and there we go. A lot of things with the new screws, these GRKs are great. I'm sure where you are, they are. They have the little cutting head right in there, which is just super nice because that really takes away some of that, some of the splitting of the wood. When we're open on this here, we're going to be able to get one down on the inside there, so we're also going to drive one on the bottom in. All right. Okay, on the bottom, another thing that I'm doing is I'm using some 3/4 inch green treated. I just made some 3-inch square pucks that I'm gonna put on as feet. When you're on uneven ground, it gives you a nice little spacer. Plus, as it raises it up off the ground if you're setting it there, so the grain on the bottom does not wick any moisture in. And I'm also using 3 screws hitting internal frame structure plus the 2 outside boards just to give it a little bit more connective strength. All right, the last thing we will do is slide this on, and for the most part it's going to be a hidden fastener. That's why we're using the trim screw, and we're just going to put 2 in on the side. I'm using the 3 boards as the front of the planter, so 2 screws underneath each side will keep this down. 4 feet, keep it up on the ground. I'll put those in real quick. Well, all right, there we go, a pair of plant stands. Easily, you can modify these to make them just a little bit a different size. I like having a little bit of a shadow pattern on there, so we're hanging over 3/4 of an inch. If you need them a little bit wider, go ahead and make it 4 boards. Just expand everything by 1 board and you have it. And additionally, you can also make different heights. These boards are 36. I have enough wood here. Probably gonna make a couple at 24 inches and just have a second one, a second set to go along with these. The feet keep them up off the ground, so you don't really need to worry about sealing them. If you want to take the time to coat them and do all of that fabulous, I don't always like to do that because it just adds more maintenance down the road. All right, these are great for patios, for porches, for sunrooms, for anywhere that you have plants, because you can set plants on here and it'll go down. You can use a dimension porch. Yep. I'm going to be using these in one of our wedding ceremony sites. So the upcoming wedding, these are going to have big, beautiful flowers right on them, and they're going to be stunning. I'm going to make sure some of those photos get included on this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, find out when we're doing cool things here. This has been DIY Projects for You at the workshop at the Gardens. Enjoy.